Hey everyone, how's it going? Hope you're having a great day. Got my latest deck profile for Robin, set 9 of the One Piece TCG. Hope you're all very excited for this. Listen, I love Robin. Very excited to try out different deck lists. Obviously, I showed off this one at the last Locals video. Right, at the end of the last Locals video, I should say. And I like it. We'll go over the deck list here in a second, but of course, make sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe, and also if you're going to be buying anything off a TCG player, I have my affiliate link in the description if you're going to be picking up anything. It helps support the channel. But let's get into this. Obviously, you'll see a lot of KO, a lot of control cards, because I still think that Blue Doflamingo, very popular deck in the meta and very strong deck in the meta. Obviously, with Nats recently, we saw Black Yellow Luffy taking it. I think Katakuri is still a good card into it. I'll talk about some of the card choices. Right, obviously no 10 cost ace, however, would like to make room for him. But let's get into it. We've got Robin, our 4-life, purple and yellow leader, Straw Hat Crew type, 5k power, banish, and then when attacking, you may trash one card with a trigger from your hand, add one Don from your Don deck as rested. So, getting into it, we got 4, Big Mom, Charlotte Linlin. I know some people don't like this card because you have to trash a card for the heal. However, the main focus of this deck is keeping things 9 cost and below because of the Gum Gum Giant event and how good it is. It is insanely good, fixes so many hands, saves us from so many attacks going for game. It is really good. So we got Big Mom, Charlotte Linlin, 9 cost, 9k power. On play, trash one card from your hand, return one Don, you heal a life, and then you can place one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less to the top or bottom of their life face up. Good way to remove some bodies, because anything you essentially heal to their life is something you will most likely banish from their life, which is essentially the same as KOing, right? Not all the time, but is good control. Then we got 2 copies of the 6/7 Zoro, 1k counter, banish. I really like this card, I really do. I just want to find some more room for a couple other cards to try out. Right, this card is perfect into Blackbeard, into Shanks, and just in general for any deck that stalls out a bit, plays a bit of a longer game, that when attacking, the banish, pretty good. And then we got 2 Charlotte Katakuri, 8 cost, 8k power. On play, place one character with a cost of 8 or less to the top or bottom of the owner's life face up. Good way to get rid of a cost kid. However, green isn't so much in the meta right now. It is a way to get rid of a Rayleigh, a Ben Beckman, Jozu, or we can heal our own life with our triggers to KO something like Onami, Nami, or Luffy, or even a Saul. Then we have a 2k counter, Beji, just the terrifying yellow card. Trigger one of your opponent's leader or characters cannot attack during this turn. Everyone who has gone for game against a yellow deck fears this card. 4 copies, of course. Then we got Yamato, our next healing card. 9 cost, 9k power. On play, KO one of your opponent's characters with a cost equal to that of your life and your opponent's life total. Right, and then if you have 1 or less life, add 1 card from the top of your deck to the top of your life, so you heal 1. Then we have Onami, 2 cost, 3k power, 1k counter. On play, give up to one of your leader characters banish. Obviously, this is for our characters. Our leader already has banish. And then we have the trigger, KO one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. Really good KOing, right? This means we have 3 different cards that can KO either a 4 cost or a 5 cost from life. That is really good for board control. Then we have Frankie, our 2k counter, 4/5, so we can also swing with him. And then trigger, draw 1 card. Then if you have 1 or less life, play this card. Doesn't always come up because, again, he has to be your second from last life or your last life, which odds are against you with that. But he has a 2k counter. Then we have Luffy, the 5/6, 1k counter, Egghead, activate main. You may trash this character. If your life is at 2 or less, KO one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less, and then draw 1 card. Again, I love this card. It's really good against Blue Doflamingo. Good board control, and then replacing hand size, so that's pretty good. Then we have Nami, the 5/5 1k counter. On play, you may trash 1 card with the trigger. From your hand, KO one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. Then, if your hand size is 3 or less, draw a card. Trigger, activate this card's main effect. And also, Luffy has the trigger to KO at 4 cost. You don't get the draw, but you can draw with Nami if you meet the criteria. I know some people don't like this card because it's another thing that keeps your hand size down. However, you're already trashing things with your hand, from your hand size with leader ability already. So oftentimes if you counter out of 1 or 2 attacks, by the time you can play Nami, she will replace herself, which is pretty good. KOing a 5 cost, establishing a 5/5, and then replacing herself. You still are going down in hand size because you're trashing 1, right? But not terrible for KOing a 5 cost character. Then we have Nico Olvia. I don't know why I was saying Olivia before. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. But there's 1 cost, 0k power, 2k counter. On play, give one to one of your Nico Robin power plus 3,000 for the turn. Then trigger, if your leader is Nico Robin, draw 3, trash 2. Really good cycle. I think I've come to the terms that I should just always trigger this out, even if I need a 2k counter, depending on what you've seen throughout the game already, right? If you've seen a lot of your 2ks, they're in your trash. Maybe you don't trigger this out if you need counter, but more times than not, I'm using this. Then we have the 6 cost, 6k power, 1k counter Robin. On play, if your opponent has 3 or more life cards, trash up to one of the top cards of your opponent's life. This is so good if we're going first. We go up to 3 Dawn, swing, use leader ability to ramp to 4. Then next turn, we're at 6. Most of the time, unless you're playing against Vegapunk, you'll be able to just play this out, trash a life. Really good, even if your opponent's defending their life from your banish swings. Good way to get around that, unless you're playing against Blackbeard. But then they have to trash a card to deny your on plays. Then we have Saul, 3/5 blocker. Trigger, if your leader is Nico Robin, play this card. Just simply a really good character to get out of life. Then he has, a trigger. So even if he's in your starting hand, it's a great way to ramp, right? Because has no counter. Then we have our events. Gum Gum Giant, 4 copies. 1 Don counter. Don -2, you may trash 1 card from your hand. If your leader has the Straw Hat Crew type, give to one of your leader or characters plus 4,000 power, then draw 2. Best counter event in the game, hands down. I feel like it is so good. Plus 4,000 for 1 Don, plus you're essentially replacing itself and a dead card, or any card really, but if you have a dead card in your hand, replace that with drawing 2. Then we have 3 copies of the 0 cost event. Trash a card from your hand, your leader or one of your characters goes plus 3,000 for the battle. And then if this is your last life, you can trash a card and heal. So good. So again, a few general things for the deck. My healing, we have 8 copies of our healing cards. If you don't count Katakuri, because you can use them offensively to get rid of one of your opponent's cards. If you use them to heal yourself, then we have 10. They're all 8 to 9 cost so that we can continuously use Gum Gum Giant, right? The goal for this deck, yes, it was to clear Blue Doflamingo's board with, Nami and Luffy, and then Onami if we get that out of life, right? But we can still use these general strategies to KO whatever our opponent plays mid-game while we ramp quickly into our late game, right? So we want to play out our KO cards mid-game, or Robin to trash more life. And then as quickly as we can start using our healing or KOing cards, our big bodies, to pressure your opponent's life, right? They're going to most likely counter out of a lot of our early game swings, unless we're just attaching all down to leader, of course, which is going to reduce their hand size. So once we get our big bodies out and start swinging a 9k at them, they most likely won't be able to defend against that, or they might be even more willing to take the hits because they're not banished. Onami is a great card to use on these late game bodies, right? Say we ramp up to 9 Dawn, we play Big Mom 1 turn, we heal, we get rid of something. Next turn, we're at 10 Dawn. You can play out Onami, give Big Mom Banish, swing a 9k Banish, and then with our 8 Dawn, we can use Katakuri to heal Onami to life, then KO something the following turn. So that's the idea with Katakuri. I know a lot of people ask why I don't have Ace. I think you can still just run this with just replacing Katakuri with Ace, right? But that's the idea, that we can get double value out of Onami, right? Give one of our big bodies banish, or even like our 6-cost Robin or Nami, right? Give something banished, then heal it back to our life with Katakuri, then KO 5 costs on your opponent's board, or just get it back to your hand for counter. Going over quickly, because somebody did mention this, and I thought it was a really good idea, talking about starting hand, stuff to mulligan for. Obviously, every starting hand is going to be different depending on your matchup. However, I typically look for one of my late game bodies because we're going to be ramping, right? And reducing our hand size at the same time. So we want something to kind of account for that. Healing life is just more cards to our hand, essentially. If we can get enough of our big bodies, we essentially become, throughout the course of the game, a 7-life leader, right? So typical starting hand, I know it's 6 cards. Okay, I'm getting to that. All right. Typical starting hand might look something like this. We have our late game. The only reason I have 6 cards is like you could swap out the Zoro for the Robin, like interchangeably for, you know, our purpose of a mid-game card to play out, right? So something that might look like this, right? We have some counter. We have our mid-game options of either some kind of a board control, like a KO, either this Luffy or the Nami, or something that puts more pressure on our opponent's life, like the Robin or Zoro. We have our late game option, and then we have something to trash for trigger, which honestly could have been any of these 4, but Saul could be a good option because maybe you don't want to play him out early. He doesn't have any counter. However, Saul could be good to keep in hand because of Robin's trigger that, you know, play one character, yellow character with a cost of 3 or less. That's a great way to cheat out Saul. But something that looks like this, you know, obviously this can replace with the Yamato or the Katakuri, right? Any of our 2Ks. Olivia is probably our best one to get in hand because that on play is so good for 1 Don going plus 3,000. And then of course, if you don't see your Beji in your hand, then it's a higher likelihood that it's, you know, in your life. Yeah, this might be something that looks like a pretty good hand to look for, right? We got our late game, we got stuff to ramp into our late game, and then we have stuff to play out to either control board or just pressure our opponent's life through banish. If I'm going against blue Doflamingo, maybe we mulligan for something that has more cards akin to Luffy, like we have Luffy and Nami, right? Maybe even the Zoro because he's a 6/7, so even if we don't swing at their life, we can swing at their board with 7k, right? Swing into some of those 5k power bodies. The 6 cost is a little bit harder to bounce. They need the Jozu. We ramp at least 1 Don, so we might be able to beat them, to be able to even swing with them, right? But that's the deck profile. Let me know what you think about it. I'm always testing out a new list for Robin. Let's get into a few games, see how it plays. All right, we got, Sabo. Interesting. Okay, so again, we got pretty decent hand. We got 2 of our endgame cards, which is fine. Something to play out mid-game, and some triggers to trash, to ramp. Obviously, going second does hurt. I feel like we don't really need to trigger that out for anything. Going second does really hurt because you don't really have a 4-Don play or a 2-Don play for this deck specifically. So I'm just going to swing 9. Trash Nami. Okay, that's scary, but hopefully that was like their one of. I don't know. I mean, not like I run a lot of blockers, but, you know, Saul. Interesting getting that. Keeping 2 Robins in hand because of how much Red Yellow Sabo can heal pretty much every turn. So getting rid of that will be good. Interesting. So we take here. That is crazy. We might not even need a swing, because if we keep him at 2 life, then Cracker doesn't get his effect. Or I could also use Luffy to KO, swing 7. It doesn't matter if I swing, because I want to use Robin, right? It doesn't matter if I swing too much, because he can heal, right? So if I get him down to 2 life and he heals up to 3 next turn, we can still use Robin. So I do kind of think I want to just get rid of the Cracker, so we'll do that. And then we'll trash, boom. So in case I do need to heal, we'll be at 10 Don. I guess I didn't need to, but we'll be at 10 Don next turn, so. Sanji blocker. Even if he doesn't heal himself, we can heal him with Linlin, right? doesn't swing. Interesting. Yeah, I probably would have just played out after the swing if you're going to, but we will. Boom, bam. What do I want to trash here? I can be greedy and try and use the Onami to give Banish to Linlin. We'll trash 1 Robin. Boom. Put Sanji in the bottom life. We'll swing 5, hoping that he counters out. Because I kind of want him to be at 3 life for Robin. But, cool. He does have the possibility to heal himself next turn with his ability. Especially if he plays out like a rush card. S-Snake, maybe just doesn't have the rush right now. Or maybe he's doing more control, because I see a couple of Ben Beckman. That's pretty good, right? Trashes something, then has that 7k stat line for Sabo to heal. But it looks like he will heal with the S-Snake. Gets out a blocker. So we'll just trash. We can banish a lot actually next turn. So maybe it was good that I kept that Onami in my hand. Because at 4, we can play out Boom. Swing 7 Banish with our leader. And then swing 9 Banish with Linlin. Really putting the pressure on here. Lost the 2 Nami triggers, which would have gotten rid of my Saw. But now, we've just trashed 3 of his life, essentially. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, that is a lot of aggression with the dragon, but the hand is not much you can do next turn. He might have been able to live, right? He might have been able to heal 1 this turn, but no counter pretty much at all. We got Bonnie. We'll go first. I actually kind of want to keep, because we got Linlin, which can get rid of... Okay, well... Okay. Alright, wait. That is actually it. Wait, they mulligan, right? Yeah, that... Okay, they left. That hand is kind of atrocious, I gotta be honest. But you should play with these bad hands because you can get used to coming back from getting a bad hand, right? You're a 5 life leader, you might get it. Alright, we got Blue Dofi. Hopefully we can find some of our KO cards. And just kind of... So we could trash Nami to ramp. We are going first. I'll try and keep. We'll try and keep. It could be worse, is what I'm saying. You know, you never know when you mulligan into just a bunch of 2Ks and it just does nothing for you. Right? But the fact that we'll probably just swing 8 banished life. Okay, well, I mean, we'll fix our hand eventually with those. We'll ramp to 6 down next turn. We won't be able to trash anything with Luffy, now I'm realizing, but he won't be able to bounce it either with Law. We'd have to use something like Jozu, right? We'll take this Jinbei into Law, bounce back those. Yep, so he just got Sengoku and Buggy. That is perfect. We don't want him to get recurred value out of that Law, so getting rid of that is really good. We can just... We won't really get to use Nami's draw, right? We'll hope he counters out here, because we know he has the 2K, right? The Buggy that he bounced back to hand. And he drew a new gate. So we'll just go here, boom, that's fine. Again, just clearing his board. We'll be at 8 Dawn next turn, but most likely just go down to 2 life. Hopefully we get like a Katakuri. That'd be actually kind of crazy. Put Nami into our life or heal them, honestly. Yamato at this point could probably KO anything they play out. But I won't be at 9 Dawn. Unfortunately, I didn't have any other triggers to trash. If I did have a one to trash. Takes back the Jinbei with Gecko. Probably puts Jinbei to top life. Then we would have been able to draw with Nami. That's not great. But he's 1k counter at this point. No, this is not good. I'll be honest. Yeah, not good to be honest. I might just try and pressure his life, or not his life, his Jinbei. I don't even think I want to keep up any Dawn for one of the Gum Gum Giants because that'll just set me back too much, and I don't want to trash Robin. I mean, no. Could I? So if I go down to 6, it would actually be up down to 7 if I trash Robin here. I think I might have to, honestly, to stay alive. So that means I can swing 5 at Jinbei. I'm actually just kind of worried about dying next turn. Am I? I don't know. 2 life. Could be anything. Maybe this is the wrong decision. Okay. All right. Well, Jinbei got let go. Now I'll just do it anyway to filter out my hand. Because I don't need 3 of these at this point. Gravity Blade. Fair enough. But he can still use leader ability for it with the Teach. 7 of us. What does he get out? Boa. We will use Giant here. See what we got. Another Yamato is not bad. And a 0-cost event. We'll see what we get from life. He's down pretty low on hand size though, which is a great spot to get him in. If we get a lucky card from life, that'll help a lot. Even if he doesn't hit my life here, I think I'll probably still use the Yamato to just clear board. He does though. I want him to swing so I have something to swing out that Gecko, right? Never mind. We will KO the blocker, swing 5 Banish a life. At least we got more 2Ks, so that's good. With the counter in hand, we probably won't die to splitting between these 3. And I know a lot of Blue Delphi lists are running less Red Rock nowadays. We get the Pudding. So yeah, just 2 cards in hand. Still 4 life, so long way to go, but that's how these matches typically go. Sengoku coming out to pick up the Newgate. Playing out the Jozu. Bounces back the Sengoku. Interesting. Sengoku again. So we know he has a new a Weevil and then 2 dead cards now. So whenever we swing at, we'll just kill. We'll take. Don't really have 3. Like I don't need to play out the Beji. Interesting. Is he going to swing again? I want him to turn his Gecko more sideways so I can swing leader into that. He's using leader ability. I completely forgot that he can do that. We'll give... Oh, and then okay. So now he might have counter. We'll go 2, 1. And go 2, so we don't go into 0 life. We'll go 5 and go for Moria. And we can KO up to a 5 cost with this, but don't get the Jozu, unfortunately. 9, so he can't block out of this. At most, he could have got 2K. We know he has the Boa Hancock blocker still in hand, so we know he can't count out of this. And then we'll go here, KO that, heal. So, pretty good spot. if we can just get like a Linlin or another Yamato from this Gum Giant. Kind of really just have to play for the long game with this matchup. Establishing multiple of our big bodies. Jinbei into the Weevil. So now we don't have information on his hand. 3 Dawn. I kind of want to do this just to dig deeper in our deck. That's perfect. If he stacks 3 on Jozu to go 10, we can save our Yamato. Ah. Interesting. We'll... counter 1 here. At the risk that he doesn't swing. I kind of want him to swing. We can get the Jozu to his life. Okay, 9. No! No, no, no. Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, no. We can save it, but... oh, I should have taken that 5. Oh. I don't want to go down to no cards in hand, so I kind of have to just let that go, which sucks. We get a 2k counter. If I put Boa to life, I can swing 9 into Jozu and he dies, so we'll do that. I'll get rid of the 0 cost event, heal, put Boa bottom, swing 9 there, dies, and then I'll get rid of the Teach. At the risk that I could get rid of the Jinbei, right? Because I don't want him to keep getting free value of that Dawn, because it is really a blunder. We're back up to 3 life, which is pretty good. We lose our Yamato, unfortunately. But now he has no choice but to swing at our life. Gets another Jinbei. Perona. Okay. So now we know he has a Jinbei in hand. And he's putting things to the top of the deck. Let's see. We need to hope for more of our Linlins or such. Law. Okay, got back Sengoku and Perona. Gum Giant, I guess it's pretty good. Linlin, perfect. Yamato, also perfect. So I know he can counter out of this. We'll go with the Law. Okay. We'll KO you and then kill the Law. We will start swinging at his life eventually, right? But it is a huge, just kind of goal of starving out while establishing our big bodies. Jinbei into Boa. But that is the problem when he can establish so many bodies per turn so cheaply. Did he counter out with the Perona? Okay, so he has Sengoku still in hand. I honestly would probably use the Gum Giant on the Veggie as opposed to the Linlin, because we are running out of our top end to heal, right? But it looks like he's just going for our life. We'll take 1. Don't need that right now, but it is just good to have in our hand. We can probably trash that for Gum Giant. We'll do that. Get another 2k and a 0 cost. Not bad. Okay. So we don't know what this last card is, right? From Weevil, but we do know he has a Mihawk 2k counter. We got a Linlin and a Katakuri. Either way, we can heal him and basically clear his board while swinging 1 Banish at life, right? We should probably Linlin, get rid of the Katakuri. And then I need to swing leader Banish at life. Here goes. Do we get greedy? And no, I can't get greedy now. We'll put the Boa to bottom life. Swing Swing 9 at Jinbei, 9 at Weevil. And we'll just go 6 at his life. Because now I've healed him up to 6, we got to start chipping it down. We know he has the 2k counter from Mihawk. But it appears he didn't have another 2k counter. Maybe he just doesn't want to go into 0 life. See if he gives the 2k counter. Cool. Now we have 3 big bodies. His board is just a Jinbei and a Sengoku. We don't know about his hand. We'll take trigger out Olivia, sure. Get rid of one of these. I'm going to be greedy and keep a Yamato in hand because he has... Oh, just Croc. Okay, so bounce about the Sengoku. I was expecting him to split for game, but... Sengoku back to just 3 Dawn. Or a 7k, so a 3k counter. He gets the Gecko Moria. Just goes 7 at life. Will... I guess just 0 cost. It's just... Yeah. Ah. Okay. Perfect. So Yamato, KO. Swing Jinbei. At this point, I think we might have gone through all of our Gum Gum Giants, so we'll just pressure his life. Right. Now we have 4 9k bodies. We'll get him down to 4 life. It's impossible for us to die here, even if he splits, because I don't think they run any rush cards. So yeah, very, very long game, but this is kind of what we have to do. Plays the Gecko to get back Jinbei, to get a Gecko. To get a Boa. Okay, so we know he has 1 dead card in hand. No blockers available right now. With that information, we might just be able to go for game, to be honest. Just pop. Honestly, we could go for game, yes, but we might as well guarantee it, right? It's a little bit overkill, right? It's a little bit overkill. We'll swing out first. If he counters this, then yeah, we have to prolong. But we know he had a dead card. Okay, fair enough. We'll swing. Swing. Swing out. It is a little bit troublesome because in the case that I don't get anything good from life, right? I mean, he has a 2k body, but we still have a 2k counter. There's a world that he could split properly and kill me. Oh no, he would have to commit 5 Dawn to swing 7. Only leaving 5 left. Okay, yeah, he's just going for it, I guess. We just need some kind of counter. So yeah, we got it, right? He can swing 7 and 8 is his best numbers now, which we can get out of an 8. So we'll just do that. Or get out of a 7. And that is GG. Yeah, I know that was probably a really long match and seemed like a little bit overkill. However, that is kind of our best method. I mean, we're like not always going to win against a tier 1 deck, right? But that is our general strategy of just trying to control the board, establishing our big bodies that he can't really respond to. Because in any given turn, he can establish like 3 bodies, right? But that does it for the deck profile / guide. I know only 2 games. However, I feel like they were probably the best examples of what this deck wants to do in certain situations, right? Just trying to control the board while we establish our big bodies and basically starve out our opponent through Banish. And also, that was a very long game against Blue Doflamingo, right? But that's how Blue Doflamingo typically goes, right? Either way, let me know what you think of the deck down in the comments. I want to keep trying different lists, so leave me recommendations. I will probably make a list with the 10 cost rush ace. Maybe we'll do like a bit of an aggressive list with, you know, purple Sanji rush, ace rush. Just keep on the pressure. Who knows? Who knows? Let me know any suggestions down in the comments. Hope you all enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, and hope to see you on the next one. Bye bye.